Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 281 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about nothing. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
This is episode 281. Tommy, you know why episode 281 is special, right?
Because it's your high school number plus 200 plus 1, 2. Plus 2, plus 1, plus 1 again.
That's a good guess. No, it's Terrell Owens' football number.
Of course.
Plus 200 before it.
I'm always kind of a week behind, Tanner.
A day late and $1 short.
Yeah, that's my life story.
Yes. We do have a good episode up, a cool guest coming here, and a lot of topics to go through.
We do have a lot of topics. If we're lucky, we'll get to our guest.
If we're lucky. But first, let me tell you about a sponsor of today's episode, Hybrid Performance Method. They're your solution for strength, no BS training, nutrition, and education for the hybrid athlete. You can get access to proven training programs that have delivered life-changing gains and podium finishes for thousands of people. Take your training and nutrition to the next level, get personalized nutrition plan, plus dedicated coach in your corner, helping navigate your nutrition journey. Head into every workout and every day knowing that you will be challenged and end the day better than when you started. Visit them at hybridperformancemethod.com. When you're there and you sign up for training, nutrition, their courses, anything there on Hybrid Performance Method, make sure you use discount code MASS. That'll save you 5% for the entire life of that membership. It's almost a deal that's too good to be true, but it's true.
It's so true.
It's very true. Thank you, Hybrid Performance Method. Tommy, where did we want to start? At the beginning, or you think somewhere else in the middle?
That's boy.
Sometimes we start in the middle.
Sometimes you're just giving me too many options. So you shouldn't ask for my input on so many things, Tanner. This is getting hard for me to know which way to start. We could probably say this is as close to a national holiday as our town ever gets going on right now.
That's true. For anyone that doesn't know, it is Fair Week in western northeast South Dakota, the Brown County Fair.
Yeah, Brown County. Aberdeen is located in Brown County, and we have the Brown County Fair, and it's a big deal around these parts.
It's the biggest deal in the...
I think it's actually the biggest fair in the state, they always say.
I think, yeah, it is. It's bigger than the state fair.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? That's western
I
northeast
didn't
South
for a long
Dakota
time until I went. And I'm like, I've been to both. I think it is probably bigger. I believe that number. But so fair is in full
just down
effect.
From the road from us right now as we speak.
It is just down the road. And Tanner, that means fair food. Are you a fair food guy?
Oh, no. I do go out there and eat.
I would say right off the bat, I do believe fair food, at least the ones, I guess I haven't been the Minnesota State Fair. So just the craziest and the Iowa State. But I think for the most part, right off the bat, fair food is overrated.
It's overrated.
But that doesn't mean I won't go and get something.
No, I'll go and eat something. But I also maybe I don't get crazy enough stuff because I'm always like, I don't know. I just don't, a lot of it I'm like, it doesn't excite me that much. I'll get a pork sandwich and some stuff like that. And I don't care for a deep fried.
Yeah. See, the trick,
thing.
Really the best fair food you'll ever have is after you've just drank so much and it's midnight and you're just trying to get by and there's that one stand that's magically open just waiting for you, and that's really as good as fair food ever gets. But we were there earlier tonight, and you got to we go a few times, make the rounds, get everything. And the one, there's a few foods that always just seem so much better than what they actually ever are. And one of those to me is always a blooming onion.
Yeah.
A blooming onion is just never, you get it. And I don't know, I think even a half of a blooming onion is more than enough always. Right?
Yeah, I'm not that big on the blooming onion, I guess. A
whole onion is so much onion.
Yeah, that's true.
So I ate maybe at the very most a half, and that was really pushing my blooming onion.
You know what I don't like about the whole thing, though, is so you go, it's super hot out, super crowded. Then you go, if you're lucky, you get a little tiny spot on a picnic table that's just sticky and covered in
covered in every sauce and old food.
And that's the experience that I'm like, I don't know, maybe there's something to it, but I'm
No,
like, it kind of
I
sucks.
think that's part of the magic of it.
Yeah,
Tanner.
right. The
You suffer for that shitty experience.
that it costs twice as much as if it was just at a nice restaurant.
Basically, yeah. So I've done it. I've gone twice. I'll probably go again, get some more food even.
What's not at the fair, though, the Brown County Fair, which historically had been, is the Massenomics Strongman Showdown. If anyone's been a longtime Massenomics fan, if you've listened to the podcast for 4 or 5 years, you know all about the Massenomics Strongman Showdown.
It was historically the biggest week of the year for Massenomics.
It was.
It always was. It was
but
huge for us.
Yeah, if you've come on, joined us in the last year or two, you might not even you might say Massenomics Strongman Showdown. What is the Massenomics Strongman Showdown?
I've heard of the Showdown.
Yeah.
What's the Massenomics Strongman Showdown? It's like, take you back for a little history lesson here. What was the first year of it?
2016.
2016?
We would have ran
That was our
for the
humble
first year.
beginnings of the
The gym was fairly fresh, and we got some strongman equipment.
and put together a real like kind of exhibition strongman event. And of course, being the first year you're doing it, there's a lot of stuff you don't know, and it's held outside and it rains, which makes things kind of shitty for everyone.
Yeah.
So that one was fun though. Like that first year was enough. Like, hey, we know what's going on. Let's do this the second year.
Right.
And the second
Came
year
back in 2017.
the
Made some
second
big
year
improvements. It was pretty lit, wasn't it?
It was pretty lit. I would say that very few people that have listening to this that have ever competed in strongman will have been in front of a crowd that large.
Yeah.
It was like literally hundreds and hundreds of people watching. It was a very well attended event, and it was a lot of fun. Like it was, I mean, unless you played high school sports, you probably never performed in front of a crowd that big.
And people just
Got
getting wildly
into
into it.
They
people
did. They
with
got really into it.
No dog in the fight, and people that
didn't know anyone that was
favorites.
People that didn't know who, like spectators that didn't know anyone that was in it, and also didn't know a thing about strength sports or just what was going on at all. We're having a great time.
Yeah, I mean, people getting like, I don't know, this is maybe an exaggeration, like standing ovation, just like
Yes, they were.
wild,
like naturally,
wild cheering.
naturally Larry becomes a crowd favorite in a hurry, and just people that are performing well always get fired, or the crowd gets fired up for them. But yeah, that was,
and we were, I don't know, partly luck, like they just played out really well every year too. We just ended up with some really cool stuff and some cool events, stuff that just
some good sponsors, some good events. Radio MCs to MC the event for us. We had, the whole thing was orchestrated pretty well. A lot of volunteers and helpers to make things run smooth.
And we did run it like it was an exhibition. It really wasn't a traditional sanctioned strongman event. We run it, the first 2 years it was, about 10 competitors, and everyone did all of the events like you would normally, but it was like bang, bang, bang. We're getting the whole show done in 2 hours versus
of like 5
7.
events, 5 events and 10 to 12 competitors.
Yes, and getting the whole thing ran through in 2 hours. So it was literally.
Yeah, by the time you were done with that, I just competed the second year, and
it was brutal.
The feeling when you were done with that was like a level of exhaustion that you don't typically know.
It was horribly brutal. Like that affected me for weeks.
It was bad.
I remember at times just getting done with the second year, getting done with the car deadlift, and I just squeaked out a last rep to win the event, and it was like a 21st rep. And I mean, it was like everything, this was 21 reps of 21 was everything I had to get it. And it was a very cool moment, just like we were talking about. Everyone,
because people are seeing guys,
everyone's counting.
Yeah, they're seeing the guys that got 2, the guys that got 5, that got 10, the 3 guys that fought to get 12, the one guy that got 15.
Yeah, and then one guy goes up there and goes balls out. We had
the deadlift specialist comes in and gets 19 or 20.
Right. And so it's very cool. And then the event after that was the log press. And if for anyone that hasn't pressed a log or done overhead pressing, I would say outside.
Outdoors on a clear skies
wild,
day.
dizzy feeling. And I was so tired. I don't remember what our opening weight was. It was something that shouldn't have been hard. And when I cleaned it, I felt like there was a good chance I was going to fall over and die from that it would just crush my face.
And on top of this, it is 90 degrees. There's no shelter of any kind.
Right.
It's just, you're in the heat.
I kind of the feelings of quit, that's when they creep in, where it's oh, this is really hard.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where it's everyone's watching. They're like, why doesn't he just go harder? It's you don't know what's going on in my brain right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the last year we spiced it up a little differently and we threw in the
red
team versus blue team, and it was a 10-on-10 competition where there was 10 individual battles, one from each team, on 10 different events. It was really like a big Royal Rumble is not the right word, but it was a giant tag team match more so, and culminating with a 10-on-10 tug of war.
Which I think everyone would agree was probably the worst event of the day.
It's crazy.
As
Very
far as
cool though.
exhaustion
And,
goes.
that was also a cool way to run a strongman competition. I still don't know which way was better from encouraging people to do it. That system's better because it's pretty easy for me to convince someone to come and do one event.
Yeah, to turn it on for one event.
Yeah. But we haven't done it since. It is so much work.
So much.
And we've talked about that before. Like, it would be cool to do it. We were even talking about it today. You know, we kind of miss it when it comes this time.
Yeah,
and we
because
don't have it.
I mean, you drive to that end of town and you see no lie, thousands of campers lined up and just cars as far as I can see. And you're like, oh, a crowd is here.
Yeah.
And they would show up for this and it'd be a lot of fun. But
And this week, I'm not exaggerating. 30 people have asked me, oh, you doing the strongman? Like, still, it's been 3 years since we've done it, and everyone always wants to know, oh, you guys putting the strongman? And I'm not talking about lifters. I'm just talking about
people
from town, because it became a thing. So maybe someday we'll bring it back, and it'll be a pretty big occasion. But
it'd be cool.
Maybe 2022.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
I mean, it'd be really fun to put on the show just because people are. It'd be different if you were just putting it on, no one showed up, and you were doing it for the people competing. That's one thing. But like when people really do get the enjoyment out of that, it does add another level to it too.
Yeah, for sure. It does. To be continued, though, on the Massenomic Strongman Showdown. Can't really have any more because I made the framed thing in the gym, though.
You do have that, and
where it has all the years
the banners,
of the
sponsor banners are pretty big. I don't know if we have room for another one in the gym. So yeah,
one of my biggest regrets, though, is somewhere that from the first year, the 2016 Strongman Showdown, the banner was stolen by someone.
I know, and we don't have the original one.
That exists somewhere still. I guarantee it didn't get thrown in the trash. And if you're out there, we have a very special set of skills. We will find you. We will get our 7-year-old banner back.
Don't you worry. Tanner, are you ready to wet your whistle?
I thought you would never ask.
Okay, this is a what's in the can.
Ooh. I need to
You better strap up over there.
take precautionary measures, so to speak.
So Tanner's putting his customary headband on to block out all vision,
And sun.
so we know that he's not cheating.
All right. If you want a Massenomics blindfold of your own, you can get these on Massenomics.com.
Okay, Tanner. There it is.
Oh. It's a tall boy. Tall and slender. Just the way I like him.
Tall and slender.
Almost feels like a Michelob Ultra can. Doesn't smell like a Michelob Ultra, though.
Oof. Oh. I really want to know what you think this flavor is. Wow. A lot going on there.
I'm getting nodes of cherry Coke. Been getting a lot of cherry Coke comments from people and stuff.
Just a heavy scent of cherry Coke.
There's something there that is familiar to me.
Uh-huh.
Can't quite put my finger on it. It doesn't taste good. This does not taste all that good.
I would agree with you on that.
Is there coconut in this? So what I think this is, what are the Bang things called that we've had on the
Bang
past?
seltzers?
Bang seltzer and flavor coconut, or they wouldn't call it coconut, right? They'd call it pina colada or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, coconut Bang seltzer.
Tanner, take a look. I'll say, if you like pina colada.
Oh, pina colada. All right.
You actually got it. That's,
it's a pina colada Bang. I knew It's funny when I took those first sips, I'm like, I know that's a flavor that I know, and I couldn't think of it, and all of a sudden I thought coconut. Because I could have, like, I was gonna just have to come up with a stab in the dark.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was really curious what your stab in the dark would be on this thing, but that was well played. If you like pina colada, though, I think you would love this drink.
I thought you were gonna go into the song again then.
A very emotional talking of the song.
If you like pina colada. I don't exactly know what the next line is. I would normally mumble that next line.
I'm getting caught in the rain. Something disco.
Flip flops.
Yeah, that's. I think the song. I think that's how it goes. Yeah, I don't like coconut. I don't like pina colada. And
Pina colada.
I don't. From what I can tell, I don't seem to like Bang Seltzer either. So there's nothing about this that I really enjoy.
I think this is a little better than Purple Kittles. To tell you the honest God
well, it
truth.
doesn't feel like I'm just fire hosing
I'll
sugar
give it a
into my mouth.
2.5, 2.5 stars. Tops.
I'd give it that too. That's about all it's going to get, though.
Yes.
Okay, Tanner. I also have another thing for us.
Ooh.
This is a
hello.
What's in Tommy's box? Over here. And these were sent to us by a friend of the podcast, Caleb Matthews.
Okay. Big Caleb. Are you talking about Big Caleb?
Big Caleb.
Okay.
Big Caleb. The one and only. All right, Tanner.
Oh.
Here we go.
Hello.
We have Big Bob Gibson barbecue white sauce. Okay. I opened the box and I saw what was in here quick just to prep, and I didn't look. I actually thought he sent us containers of ranch, but this is white barbecue sauce. Wow.
Would this be like what? Do you think this would be similar to what you would put on like chicken fried steak? Almost like that white gravy?
I'm wondering.
That's kind of what it looks like.
It says, friends and family were treated to the secret recipe sauce on a chicken and pork weekend backyard. I mean, I don't know. First place white sauce in the American Royal International Barbecue Sauce Contest in Kansas City. So, you know, it's a big deal. But there's also this letter here. And I didn't. You know, letters, you never want to read them ahead of time because you never know what's in them. This could also be an off-the-air letter, too, so I'm not sure what...
Or an anthrax.
I'm not sure if this is one we should read. Oh, okay. It says Big Tommy and Big Tanner. Here are some bottles of Big Bob Gibson's barbecue sauce for your consideration. This is a locally made barbecue sauce from north central Alabama.
Alabama contingency.
That one may even call a go-to sauce for the region. I especially like it on chicken and pork, and I have no doubt that y'all will enjoy putting this white sauce in your mouth. Look forward to some more of y'all's words of wisdom on the next podcast Sunday. Sincerely, Big Caleb.
I can't wait to put Big Bob's white sauce all over my mouth, in and around.
I mean,
I hope Big Bob's
sounds
white
so
sauce
much more
gets trapped
appetizing.
in my mustache.
Sounds so much more appetizing in that way, especially when you use the words "go-to." Now that I know it's a go-to sauce, it's really speaking my language too.
Something to me too.
I am excited for this.
Since 1925, Bob is not been messing around.
You don't start a sauce company in 1925 and keep it around on accident.
That's true. You're working on 100 years, damn near over there.
Just about.
In
Decatur,
Decatur, Alabama.
Be ashamed to ruin that streak now.
Well, this is cool. I'm excited. I am genuinely excited to try this.
I am too. I'm really pumped.
Thank you, Big Caleb, for the Big Bobs.
And it's funny, he messaged me a long time ago. Actually, it might not have been that long ago. It felt like an eternity ago, saying I was going to send you something. I gave my address, and I didn't hear for a long time. And then all of a sudden, I just have a DM that's like, hey, I finally sent that. I'm like, what is this from? I'm like, oh, we talked about this quite a while ago. So, yeah, when this stuff showed up, I was pumped.
Curious to see where this ranks in the Uncle Gary's, Big John's Old West sauce,
cock sauce,
as far as the premium lifting barbecue sauce.
I know, and
there's still some debate over that.
There is. Well, and I was actually getting low on my sauces. My Uncle Gary's is getting pretty down there, and also my cock sauce too. So I'm glad the stock is getting replenished here.
This one won first place. I'm not sure if that's in the lifting barbecue sauce competition.
I think we do have the ability to make that call. So maybe we'll award some here if we get a few more into the lineup.
Excellent.
So that's very cool. Thank you for that, Big Caleb.
Yeah. Should we do it to him advertisement style?
Oh, yes, we should. Okay.
I thought we'd never ask.
I really did think you'd never ask, Tanner.
We had a skip it meme out there. Did you ever have a skip it?
No, but I had some friends down the street that did.
Okay.
You know, when you're like, what, first grade?
Yeah.
Whenever those things
whatever
came out.
the meme said, I can't remember, but I like Big Jake said,
when I hear
Tanner
this,
and Tommy start to say
it's
this,
brought to you by Skip It, Skip It. Yep.
skip it.
Today's show is brought to you by SPUD Inc. and the SPUD Inc. 3-ply deadlift belt. The SPUD Inc. 3-ply deadlift belt is strong and secure as a leather belt, but it's much more comfortable. The deadlift belt is great for deadlifting because it doesn't cut into your hips or stomach at the bottom of a deadlift like a leather belt does. The deadlift belt is made from a soft, flexible 3-ply webbing that has enough give to stay out of your way, but is as tough as any leather belt you've ever worn. This is the most supportive Velcro deadlift belt available. The attached strap and ring make tightening and loosening this belt effortless, while the industrial strength Velcro keeps it tight while you lift. It also allows for a perfect fit every time. Great for all lifts too, not just deadlifts. You can check out the SPUD Inc. 3-ply deadlift belt online at spud-inc-straps.com. Tanner, there was something that was kind of funny. I actually can't even remember now. I'd love to give this person credit. Maybe you remember. Someone took the Floyd Mayweather picture of him with all the money and photoshopped my face on it. Do you remember who that was? I don't even know if I saw it.
No.
God, I really feel bad not giving credit where credit's due. Maybe it's still.
Do you want to know who that person was?
Who?
Well, you're looking at that person.
Was it you?
That person was me.
Was it you?
Yeah, that was me that made that. I just put it in the story
Okay.
and didn't do any
That's all right.
attribution.
So really fun. So Tanner
the meme
took.
here that applies would be it was me. It was us the whole time.
Always has been.
Always was me making the Floyd Mayweather.
You
Tommy
mean
meme.
I'm the unpaid intern? What? But so for people that don't know, there is a lot of people, if you've been on the internet in the last 10 years, have seen the picture of Floyd Mayweather with just stacks of cash on it's like a dining room table. I mean, it has to be what, tens of millions?
Oh, it looks like a lot of money.
And then it's just him at the end of the table sitting there, looking over all of his money. So Tanner made this, he just photoshopped my face onto Floyd Mayweather's body with all this cash.
Yeah.
And what did you say? Like
when
you sell-
Massenomics sells our second pair of lift shorts or something like that.
And it was funny. So I put it in my story, and I had a family member that I'm pretty sure doesn't even have Instagram. So I don't know if this was getting passed around between different family members of mine that I don't know about. And that's how it made it back to this one. But anyways, I got a message from a family member that was like, you really shouldn't keep that much cash in your house. I was like,
do you think that was it serious?
I don't know. And I just said, ha, 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 ha. That photo's not real. And they said like, oh, I was going to say you should make sure you get to the bank. I'm like, my hands in the photo are black. And my face clearly doesn't fit that body quite right either. It's just kind of like poor. Yeah. No offense, Tanner, but it's not masterfully. My head isn't masterfully cut out and put on this body.
That was, I would say maybe, I came across that photo and thought, ha, look at all the money. And I thought, ha, I'll put Tommy's head on it. And 3 minutes later, it was on Instagram.
Yeah. So I had a family member that was concerned about my well-being for the amount of money that I was keeping in my house,
but not concerned that like your lower appendages had
changed color.
Yeah, color changed, and
that my body had just a lot of things going on
why
out of
does
the normal.
Tommy have millions of dollars in cash?
Yeah. I'm like, if I have that much money in my house, you don't worry about me. I got other problems.
Like if you had $10,000, that's the type of thing your family member would say. That's a lot of money to be having around in your house. Not $10 million. They'd say, can I have some?
Yeah. So I did think that was quite funny that apparently I had family members getting mixed up.
That is funny. Did you see that Thor, they announced his new opponent now that he's not fighting
you were
Eddie Hall?
mentioning this. I haven't. This was at the gym the other day. I still haven't looked into this much, but
Devin Lorot.
Let me see him because I'm pretty sure I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's a very tall, big guy. He's an arm wrestler. One of the top arm wrestlers. I think he has been for a long time. He's got like crazy arm.
He has like 2 arms.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that he boxes at all.
Well, it's good that he has a fight lined up in a month, right?
Yeah, it is in a month. It's like a month from right now. I'm not sure that he boxes whatsoever. I couldn't see. He doesn't have like a single. Not that it means he doesn't do it, but you tend to believe. This guy has 220,000 Instagram followers. He kind of utilizes this platform as.
Really, best case scenario would be like he was one of those people that boxed as like, in his teens, And so he has that background skill.
Yeah,
pre-Instagram.
He just posted one 6 hours ago. That's the first time he posted anything about boxing. It's him sitting there.
Does it say anything about like...
He just said, learning to float.
Ooh, okay. You would assume if the word learning is used in that sense
Yeah.
that he probably has... So
that's who he's fighting.
I got to imagine the promoters and everyone was like, God damn it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Eddie Hall's out. Like, the whole novelty of this thing is just gone.
Yep.
Because that guy's name...
Up in smoke.
I guess... I don't follow the arm wrestling circles very
I
closely.
think he's big in arm wrestling.
Yeah, I would think, but also
really.
that's also kind of a small...
Yeah. He's got 220,000 followers. Eddie Hall has how many million?
Well, exactly.
Right.
And that's what you're comparing it to is...
Right.
And, you could say strongman's kind of a small thing too, but those guys weren't just strongmen. They were like actors and personalities outside of it. And that's where so much of the appeal came. Like if there was just a boxing fight with some strongmen, there might be some novelty there, but the real novelty is coming from the fact that these guys have other things around them than just strongman.
Expanded out of that smaller bubble a little bit, or they broke out of their niche to an extent.
Yeah, I would think that that's going to hurt the pay-per-view sales a little bit on that one.
I would have to think so. It's going to come down to that undercard of
Fear and Evans,
or
Fear and Cardone.
Yeah.
The undercard of the century.
Yeah.
That's what the people want.
You mentioned the World Deadlift Championships.
God, Tanner. I really should have taken notes on that.
Well, and I don't know how much is noteworthy of it. I know nobody broke the.
Well, okay,
they're going for 505 kilograms, and nobody got it.
Several people broke 1,000 pounds. Though.
I think so.
Like
I think there was like 7
which
people.
That's getting to be the
deadlifted
crazy
1,000
spot.
pounds.
Is that like that's like turning into almost like not remarkable anymore.
That's kind of true.
Like if someone's going to have an event like this, you just like if someone's having this event and there's not multiple guys pulling 1,000 pounds, don't you go like, "Oh, that was kind of a dud."
Yeah. Which is kinda,
insane.
Yeah, but that's the reality of the point that we've gotten to, I think.
Well, it is, because even when we were, that first year we were at the Arnold, and when Thor broke the record at the time, then was it like 1,048 or 1,050? Like,
yeah, and that was on the elephant bar.
Yeah, and the number was still kind of like fluid. Like no one even really knew the number.
Right.
Like it was just like, it's over 1,000. It doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah.
But like now you have like an event, and like no one else there is really even like a lot of guys were getting to, I think, close to 1,000, but I'm not even sure how many guys got past 1,000.
Yeah, I don't know.
And now you have an event like this, and just half the field's pulling 1,000 pounds plus.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed is a Giants Live event, and they refer to the record as Eddie Hall's 500 kilograms, not Thor's 501 kilograms. Like they kind of, if you watched it and stuff, like the little bit I saw is like Thor's name is not uttered by any, like it's not even like, well, and if you count the 501 or anything, it's like we're like that.
So just out of curiosity, though, what is their actual argument there? That
it was done in like it was like a home gym lift. It really wasn't a competition because it was like the COVID World's Ultimate Strongman done at Thor's Power Gym, and I mean I know we talked about it at the time.
Yeah.
And like I get why people wouldn't like it and stuff, but to me I'm like, it counts. Like
That's
in my book,
like,
I'm like,
we're gonna make him wait another year.
Right. I don't know. To me, it does, but I just thought that's interesting that they're talking about it, and that makes sense to me why they put 505 as the number out there. They're not going to make it 5. They're not going to say Eddie Hall has the record and this is 501. They're also not going to make it Eddie Hall has the record and here's 502. They
exactly.
say, why is it 502?
Like, yes. Yep.
So that's why it's 505.
Smart enough to do that at least.
Yeah, because 501 wouldn't make sense. 502 would be weird. Really, anything until 505 is a weird choice at that point.
It is. Yeah. But lots of big deadlifts. I don't even honestly remember. I saw who won it, and I can't even remember.
It was that guy that he wears like an orange deadlift suit from I don't know which country, like
the Middle East country, right?
Yeah, like I don't know. He's like Iranian. I could be off by thousands of miles geographically, but he's something like that, and I don't know his name or how to pronounce it. But he's been deadlifting a whole bunch and done put out several training videos, and I think he attempted the big one too.
Did he?
And didn't get it.
Yeah. Well, the one thing is always true. Giants Live does know how to put on an event.
That is very true.
They got that
They
figured
have that
out.
figured out.
Oh.
I think we're going to have Colin Bryce on sometime soon on the podcast.
It'll be a fun one.
Been in communication with Colin and talked to him more about that. I think that'll be a very cool interview, especially for anyone that's kind of interested in strongman.
And you think a call to Canada is expensive, Tanner. Oh.
Might have to figure something out a little different on that. You know what's not overly expensive though?
Probably something from one of our great sponsors.
Yes. Supplements from Fusion Sports Performance Supplements. Not only are they reasonably priced, you also will always know exactly what's in those supplements. Fusion SP prides itself on being fully transparent, never using proprietary blends, and always providing its customers with top quality products. They offer two pre-workout options. You got the Super Soldier, you got the Mad Titan High Stim. Both have proven ingredients at their full clinical doses to maximize performance, increase muscular endurance, improve focus, and get you that much sought-after pump. Healing Factor post-workout combines BCAAs and a full serving of creatine monohydrate and other great ingredients to help maximize your efforts in the gym, build muscle, and recover fast. Fusion's whey protein isolate not only tastes great, it also has 27 grams of protein per scoop, zero fat, low and no carbs, depending on the flavor. Speaking of flavors, I would go with the chocolate.
Chocolate. I mean, can you go wrong with chocolate? Is chocolate
No.
ever a bad choice?
It's never. They got the chocolate fudge, or as I like to call it, chocolate of some sort. Great choice. Most orders are shipped within 1 business day from Fusion SP. And they come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to fusionsp.net and use code MASS, M-A-S-S. That'll save you a massive 20% on your order.
Sweet.
All right.
Shall we get started?
Yeah, let's hop into
Or
our
shall we
guest.
get started.
Yeah.
Get to the next
Get
thing.
to the next. All right. Oh, there we go.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Ah,
You
there
bet.
we go. All
We
right.
got you.
Perfect.
Awesome. We're excited to get you on here tonight, Bart.
Oh, awesome. Where are you guys located?
Western, Northeast, South Dakota.
Oh, perfect. That's awesome.
We're in a town called Aberdeen, South Dakota. It's in the northeast corner of the state, but it's a little running shtick that we've got. It's we kind of play it up.
That's funny.
Are we going, Tommy?
We can jump right into this.
We're going to jump right in if you're cool. We don't like to talk too much beforehand. We talk about something good then, and we wish it would have been recorded. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's do it.
all right, cool. And we usually don't do it on video, but as long as we got it on video, I'm just going to leave it on here so you can see us talking. It might kind of suck for you.
Yeah.
It's off of my phone. I'll be moving back and forth, but we'll keep it up as
No,
long
let's
as we
do
got
it.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're super pumped to get you on here, Bart. I'm Tanner. I guess I haven't met you formally.
And
then
I'm
Tommy's
Tommy,
over
Bart.
here.
Hey, Tommy. Hey, Tanner.
And we're in the Massenomics podcast studio here in Western Northeast South Dakota. Actually saw coincidentally you're just working on a new podcast studio, it looks like, right?
Yeah, me and my wife were actually building one out in one of the rooms. So we just moved to Vegas, and we're trying to make like our house kind of like our mini castle, like have our own gym and pretty much try to be like pandemic proof, you know,
Mhm.
where if it happens again, we're ready to rock and roll. We can train in here, we can podcast in here, we can make food in here, whatever. So we're trying to build our podcast studio in there.
Awesome. So how's that? Did you guys have like a master plan for the studio, or are you kind of just winging it?
We're kind of winging it. So we definitely repainted colors like 3 different times. And we have no experience in like DIY set building. Like, so I come from a comedy background, and for our JK side of things, we've done a lot of like professional sets, but that's us like pitching ideas to professional set builders, and they know exactly what to do. You know,
Mhm.
when it came to us talking about ideas, and then we were like, okay, cool, that's what we're gonna do. And when it comes to us going to Home Depot and we're just staring at raw materials, we're like, okay, what the fuck are we supposed to do here?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be super janky, but I think it adds to the character of it.
Well, and I do think it's smart, the whole idea of proofing yourself away from shutdowns or anything else that might come about. And is that part of why you moved to Las
A little
Vegas
bit,
then,
a little,
too?
yeah, a little bit. I think in terms of like business, entrepreneurial spirit, and kind of like the type of choices that like the government gives you, I didn't realize how big of a discrepancy there was living from state to state. You know, like we would be in California, all gyms shut down, this shut down, that shut down, everyone, no one's working. And people are like, what about income? We'll worry about that later, you know? and then you see some of like, like some of my colleagues that are in other states, and I'm like, they're still training. And what's funny, it's almost like the seeing people get stronger is it hurts your ego more than they can actually make money.
And just being
You're like, you're telling,
yeah,
you're telling me his squad is getting stronger while mine is going away. And that is more important than like making a living.
Yeah, it's not that their business 2x'd while yours went.
Yeah, no, that's
kind of
all.
50%
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, that
They can
doesn't matter.
out-squat you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, have you seen the way his quads look in his shorts?
Yes.
Unacceptable.
Yes.
Unacceptable.
Yeah. Oh, I think it'd be good. We maybe put the cart before the horse a little bit for anyone that's listening that's hasn't been following along with you for a long time. Tommy and I talked about it before getting on the call. Even it's kind of a funny thing. If we were to describe to someone what you do, there's so many different things you've got going on. I would have a hard time knowing what class to put
like,
it in.
Like we're like, oh, Bart Kwan, like, oh, we just like, he feels like he's kind of been around a long time. There's the Barbell Brigade thing. And then we start like to dig in a little more. It's like, well, there's like a lot of stuff going on here, like to the point where I almost can't keep track of all of it.
So what I wondered is how I would phrase it if you did get stuck in a room with someone that knows nothing about the fitness community and the communities that you're in, and they say, "Hey, what do you do?" What do you say in that scenario?
You know what's really funny?
Do
No, I actually have something prepared. So when I'm on the plane and I'm stuck on the plane.
The plane, that's the perfect
there you
example.
Yeah, and I know that this flight is like 2 hours or less. If they're sitting next to me and they go, "So what do you do?" I go, "Oh, I'm a writer."
Okay.
And usually they just go, "Oh, okay, cool." And they just put the headphones back on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's like an 8 or 10 hour flight, I'm like, okay, cool. Like I can talk about it because first of all, it's like everything that I've ever done is social media based. So if you don't have that context, then you kind of you got to like, it's almost explaining to someone like what Bitcoin is, It's like if you don't know what cryptocurrency is first and foremost, it's like, I don't even know where to start. Here's 3 documentaries you should probably watch first.
Yeah, we just did an interview for our local newspaper. They wanted to talk to us about Massenomics and about podcasting and that sort of thing. And that's kind of the case in the audience that was going to, as an example, they within the article put the definition of a meme in there, because we do like so much.
It's like, that definition didn't help anyone.
That's funny.
Yeah. And I get where they're going with it, but it just made us laugh. It's like, just like what you're talking about. Like they don't have the base knowledge to understand a lot of what this is, what we're trying to do, but it was still funny. But yeah, same sort of thing.
So if we were to ask though, if you do have multiple businesses, multiple things going on, what are the businesses that you're involved with today?
I guess I can go in chronological order. So it kind of all like fits together and makes sense. So it all started probably in 2007-ish. Who's that guy?
Oh, so yeah. When I had to pull some, yeah, that's funny. I forgot about that. That's actually me.
Cool.
Is it your
own? We don't normally do this over Zoom. That's I do Zoom through my normal day job, and so that's it's a funny picture of me when I look considerably different
is it your
than
clean
I do.
cut work
I don't have a beard or long hair or anything. Yeah.
That's funny.
I might have to jump to that every once in a while just so you're don't get alarmed.
Okay. Yeah, so it started in 2007. I started this company called JK Films with my partner, and we were doing mainly sketch comedy at the time. Like we're trying to do our own Mad TV, SNL, Chappelle Show type of thing. And then that branched off to this channel that we still currently do now called JK News, when it's a roundtable comedy talk show. And while doing the comedy side of things, people have always asked me about lifting and training advice. And I was just in the comedic realm where I'm like, well, I don't really know, I'm not a personal trainer or anything. But I got enough interest where I was like, well, how about this? I'll like start a channel and I'll document some of my training. And then you guys can follow along, and I'm not going to try to coach you or anything. So I started doing that for a while. And I think in the midst of it, I kind of was interested in like, I was like, I'm one of the stronger guys in the gym. I wonder how I would be against like other people. So I just like Googled lifting competitions. And this is back in like 2012.
Right.
And this thing called powerlifting comes up. And I'm like, powerlifting, what's that? And I'm like, okay, it says squat, bench, deadlift. I do bench and deadlift, and I guess I'm gonna have to learn how to squat now. So I pretty much taught myself how to squat in like 2 or 3 months. I never really squatted before. I competed, fell in love with it, and wanted to look for a gym in the LA area. There wasn't really a powerlifting gym. Like out in the West Coast, powerlifting wasn't that big of a thing. I know like in places like Texas, they have high school powerlifting teams like since the 70s and 80s. Powerlifting just wasn't a big thing. So I was going to just start like a small container gym and have a bunch of my friends contribute money and we just lift out of there. But then overnight I got like 20 people. So we're like, oh shit, maybe we could open like an actual brick and mortar. And this is moving from online business into a physical realm. And that was something that was completely like out of my comfort zone and all that. So one thing I did understand was building like merch around social media, because we did that for JK. So we're like, why don't we start a clothing company first with cool branding, and then we'll use that to fund the gym. So the gym was supposed to be like the goal. And we ended up raising some money, and we got like 100 members to sign up in a matter of 2 weeks. We opened our gym, and fast forward to maybe now, the apparel side of things kind of like blew up and is much bigger than the gym, but we've outgrown that location. And now our physical gym is kind of like the centerpiece of like the whole brand. Cause it's almost like Disneyland. Like you can watch all the movies, but you go to Disneyland to like experience it. And that's kind of how we view it, where like you see all of our content, you could buy all of our merch and all that stuff, but then you go, if you want to visit our Disneyland, that's our gym. And along the way, just throughout being on social media for like 10, 15 years now, I've gotten into like businesses with some of my friends. So we have like a small restaurant group that we do, like we test concepts with. And if they do well at this weekly food truck festival, like over a year, then we'll look into getting physical locations. So now we have a drink shop called Jumbi Matcha, and we have 2 physical ones in LA. We have one in Princeton, one in Texas, and I think we're trying to open like 5 more this year.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just crazy. Just a crazy journey of just like one thing leading to another, and then kind of becoming close friends and just shooting the shit and just things popping up all over the place.
Is there one thing now that you spent that, I imagine all of it's in your life, but is there a specific areas that you have to focus on more frequently now that you choose to work on harder?
Definitely the Barbell Brigade brand.
Okay.
I spend most of my time, just because like I think when you go from like a group of frat boys to becoming like an actual business, there's like a lot of steps, and then operations and organization and all that stuff. So now, like before, when it was just hiring, like, do you lift? Do you like lifting? Come on in.
You're on the team.
You're on the team.
Yeah.
So now, like having people with expertise, and there's like people on the team that are older than you, but they answer to you, and you're like, oh, that's kind of weird, but you're like, I guess it's the business. So now there's like, and over the years you have like HR issues. Like there's just lots of things that you start to learn about, and you're like, oh, this is what it takes to run a legitimate business. Versus some of the other stuff we do, like me and my wife, we have a family vlog channel, and we do like podcasting and stuff. When it's just like owner operator, it's way easier than having like an actual team,
You brought up your wife there, and I know you two, I believe, work pretty closely on most of everything you do. And what Tommy and I were talking about, so what we do with Massenomics here, if we're both married and have kids. Not married to each other. We have wives and have different kids.
I thought you were trying to draw a parallel there.
No.
Like, we're married to.
No, there is a parallel though that we were talking about. If Tommy and I live together, like say we're back in our college days, we're living in a dorm together or in a college house. There is never a time where I feel like we could stop talking about Massenomics.
It would literally be, we would just talk about Massenomics all day, every day. And I don't think we would talk about anything else.
No, and it's like, if we'd be like, oh yeah, we're going to party tonight. We'd drink 6 beers and then we'd talk about Massenomics way louder than we normally do.
We just start screaming about it instead of talking about it. Like, and it would, it's like, that's all it would turn into.
So I'm wondering, your partner, one of your close business partners is your wife. You're with her, essentially all the time. Do you ever unplug for that, or is it like that all the time?
In the beginning, it was like that.
Okay.
And it was like, and I think most of it is just us pointing fingers at each other, like, you dropped the ball on this, no, you dropped the ball on this, no, I thought you were supposed to do this. And so it's like, it's actually not having clear boundaries. It's not a healthy relationship. And then in the beginning, it's like, oh yes, I do this with my wife. This is fucking awesome. And then when you see your other buddies and them and their wives do completely different things, completely different set of friends, you're like, I think that's the way to do it. but now I think we have a healthy way of going about it where we try to treat it like a 9 to 5. After this certain time, we don't talk about it. No, nothing. There's not going to be a fire that's going to burn anything down. We're going to be just fine. And so we kind of like give clear boundaries as to when we could talk about work, and we actually schedule things. And so that helps out a lot in terms of like work-life balance. Because I think when you're doing the social media thing, like, Instagram is 24/7, YouTube's 24/7. It's really easy for all of that to consume you. And then if you're still trying to be like a present dad or present husband or whatever, I don't want to be that dude that's eating with all my friends and I'm the one like glued to my phone,
Right.
Yeah. So like now we've said it where it's like, during these times is when we get to talk about work, but after that, fuck work, even though we love the brand, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, that does make the most sense for longevity. I can see how just, if Tanner and I lived together, it would just, we probably would have actually just drove each other crazy and hated Massenomics by now. So I think you guys are probably doing it the right way.
That passion and being able to talk about it 24/7 is what helps build things quickly. Like when Vine first popped off, I remember some of my friends were in this place all the Viners lived in the same building in Hollywood. And because like all 10, 20 people were together, they were constantly just cranking out content, and all these people ended up hitting like 10, 20 million followers because they were all on the same wavelength, just operating at such a high level.
Yeah.
So there's definitely perks to it,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially if you're like 19 or 20 and you don't have anything else.
Right. Yeah. Not having much for life obligations, certainly.
How has that changed? Because I know how old is you have a son that's,
he's about to be 4.
Okay. So
about to be 4.
Tommy, how old's
my boy's 1.
Yeah. I've got 10, 3 and couple months old.
Yeah, a couple months, yeah.
So we kind of know what that's like. We balance a couple jobs around it and everything. Like, has that been a hurdle, or just something you've adjusted to pretty naturally?
It's definitely a giant hurdle, but I also like it because I think as a business owner, you care about the business and everyone on the team so much. Like every problem is a huge problem, So you're treating everything with like 100% a bandwidth, and it's got to be solved now, versus now when you have like a kid and there's another being that relies on you, you'll hear a problem and immediately like my brain's already like, okay, is that a fire I need to put out now? Or is that something I could take care of tomorrow or in a week or in a month? Because some problems, you can wait like a whole month, and it's like if there's like a leaky hose at the gym, right? It's like, yeah, it's going to suck. The water bill is going to be pretty high this month, but no one's dying.
Right.
Oh, well, we'll get a handyman in like a week or two. We'll figure it out, But then before it was like, what? You're telling me the toilet won't shut off?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm going to the gym right now.
Yeah.
But now, so with a kid, it kind of like slaps some priorities
puts it
into your
into
face.
context.
I mean, it does
Yeah.
sound so cliche, but it does change your perspective on things. It absolutely does. Like there's no doubt about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So that really helped out. But in terms of a hindrance, oh, for sure. Because before it was like any time that your mind was ready to work on anything, you
Let's do
could.
it.
But now I got a schedule around things. And so that definitely holds things back. I tell all my friends that are starting businesses that are on the fence of having kids, I'm like, if you are ready to plateau hard as fuck for the next 3 or 4 years, have a kid right now. But if you're still in this growth phase and you're still a ton of shit you want to accomplish, put off kids for a few years.
Yeah.
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 Just the official Bart Kwan
Yeah.
parenting advice right there.
Yeah.
But
Are you looking to plateau?
have some kids.
Yeah.
I can see that on an ad in front of a YouTube video right there.
Yeah, all these cars are cool, but you know what's really cool? These kids plateauing. Yeah. Bart, can you rank these 3 Barts, and you can rank them by whatever criteria you so choose? I would go with Bart Kwan, Bart Simpson, and Bart Starr would be my third one. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with Bart Starr or not. He was a quarterback for the Green Bay Packers when they originally won Super Bowls with like when Lombardi was the coach, like their original Super Bowls. So he might be last on the list. So maybe it's more of a Bart Simpson, Bart Kwan ordering.
I would say Bart Simpson for sure. So my full name is Barton, Barton.
Okay.
And it was just because my dad came here from China, and I think he had poor English, so he just made up something, I guess. So that's where Barton came about.
I think
that's a cool story.
No, I think that's good. He did pretty well then, I think.
Yeah. And so like my name was it was so weird for me growing up because it wasn't like a Mark or a Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And my name didn't become cool until The Simpsons came out. And I think in first grade or second grade or something, everyone started calling me Bart, and then just Bart, like just shortened it for me. And I'm like, thank God for this TV show.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, something, Bart, I wanted to ask you about. I've been following you for a while, and you were in the Marines at a point in time, I think maybe shortly out of high school. And what I think is interesting, because I was in the Army for a point of time, and what I think is interesting about, I see some people like that point of their life becomes such a big thing for them that even once they're beyond that, I'm not saying this as a negative to those people that it's like that, because I know there's people experience things a lot differently in a lot of different ways, and they adapt with that differently over time. But like, I almost
trying to like, are you explaining like
I almost would
high school quarterback syndrome.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, I get you.
It's
I get
definitely
you.
their identity.
Yes.
For sure.
And it, like with you, I'm like,
I get you.
I almost didn't know, or maybe knew and forgot that was even a part of your life. And I just wondered if so you kind of got what I'm saying though then, and I just wondered is that kind of how it affects your life then? Because that is kind of how it is to me. I mean, like, it was important to, it was a part of my life at the time and stuff.
Oh,
but
Tanner, I feel like there's a lot of people that probably know you nowadays and had no idea. They went overseas and did stuff. Like they would be like, no, Tanner didn't do that.
Right. Yeah. True.
Yeah. No, I completely forget that I served. And even my wife forgets. But one of my closest friends actually, and it's funny because he's like a pretty high up there homicide detective at a police agency in California. And we were in the Marines together. And till this day, like if we drink, you better believe all the stories get retold that I've heard 6,000 times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this is like 20 years ago, dude. I'm 30. I'll be 37 this year. So yeah, this is like 19, 20 years ago. And so I definitely know someone that's like that. And I do think for many people, it does impact them in different ways. And I think as long as it's positive, I think it's really good. For me, it was a necessary point in my life that I needed to do it. And I definitely think it created a good foundation for me to take on what came on afterwards. But I don't identify myself like with that, you know?
Yeah.
Like even like I think like who I really identify myself with is someone that's kind of like fun loving, and that's kind of like the opposite of the military.
At
You know?
times, absolutely. Yes. Yes.
So even like so I worked in supply, and even my like my platoon sergeant would always just be like, Kwan, you're a funny guy, you know that? And so I just know there's only this much amount of fun I can have, you know,
Right.
before I get in trouble.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's cool. No, that makes
So
sense.
it was cool to develop like certain tools that I think helped me, but it wasn't like the thing that really helped me express who I am.
Yeah.
Versus maybe for my buddy, I think maybe that really helped unlock who he truly was. So he
Right.
just loves it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, that's cool. You mentioned, what did you say? You're 36 or 37? So somewhere in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 30s. I'll be 37 this
Okay.
year.
I'm 34. Tommy, are you 32?
Yeah.
32. So what I wondered, you have Barbell Brigade is a very cool brand. And I know cool.
Oh, thank you.
Cool's a very generic word, or just like that's a real word that I would use to describe it though. It's like, it's a cool brand. You know, I think people see it as relevant and cool to them. I ask this because we're also in our 30s, you know, approaching our mid 30s. Do you ever worry that, you know, in order to maintain that brand and keep it what it is, like, is there a certain age that you get to and you don't know what's cool anymore? Like, you just
Like,
don't have
is there a point where it's like, hey, these are like guys that are in their 40s that are kind of like sort of want to be power lifters. This isn't that cool anymore. Like, does that happen?
Yeah. I think I'm kind of like that now. Like, like I do have, like, I just recently did a meet, right?
Yeah.
And there's all these, so even, so I hired Sean Noriega as my coach.
Cool.
And he's pretty much number 2 IPF all the time. Like him and Russ are always like, you know, battling for first.
Yep.
And people like him, and then people like him were like, oh man, you know, when I was first started powerlifting, I used to watch your videos. And then, so I'm so glad you're competing again. And it almost feels like this sense of pity. Like I think Tony Hawk can ollie one more time.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still got it. I don't know how he does it.
It's like he still got it. Look at his knees popping when he's squatting 3 plates. I think he still got it, you know? So I definitely feel that, but it's cool that like my team, like half of them are super young. And so they understand like what real cool is. So it's cool to be able to bounce ideas like back and forth and kind of still have some sort of radar and not be completely lost. I mean, once this team starts aging like another 5-10 years, then I think we're going to be really lost.
Yeah. It's like, is there a shelf life on this stuff?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Because even when I got into lifting, I think I was already kind of a boomer, and I was like 19, 20, like, no. When I first started getting into YouTube, because I got into lifting through like the old school Ronnie Coleman, Branch Warren, like Jay Cutler type of videos. Yeah. So like wearing your oldest clothes that was tattered was the shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So if you watch my old videos, they're like old cut up high school wrestling team shirts, like just old clothes. And when I first got into social media, and I'm like, wait, people are getting dressed for the gym? I'm like, this is crazy. And then I'm like,
I can't wear my nice t-shirt there.
That was almost like a wake up call for me. Like when people were buying Massenomic shirts and wearing to the gym, it's like, oh, that's a nice shirt. You're going to wear that to the gym? Like,
yeah.
Right.
So I already felt kind of like a boomer. And then, you know, I was like, oh, wait, like the gym is now like this thing that you go and do kind of, you know, versus like, you go there with your hair all messed up from either work or you just woke up, you put on your oldest clothes and you just try to like go thrash yourself. I'm like, okay, so I kind of already had to relearn what cool meant. You know?
It's a full-on social event now.
Yeah, it is. I'm like, did that guy just walk by me with cologne on at the gym? Like, what the hell's going on here?
Hit it with a little Axe body spray.
Yeah.
We noticed that you and Brandon Campbell. I don't know if you follow Brandon at all. I'm guessing you're probably aware of him at least on some level.
Yeah.
You guys have like the same pickup now.
Yeah. I was actually picking his brain.
Who did it first?
So he did it first.
Okay.
And yeah, so I was picking his brain on it. But I was on the fence. So I was getting a new truck, and it was so funny because the two choices I had were complete opposite. One, it was either to get the new TRX, which is like a super truck, right? It's like 700 horses. Or the other one I was looking for a truck. I've been wanting one since, I don't know, maybe like 6 years ago. Once I found out that trucks even had bench seating in the front so that you could seat 6. I'm like, that's like the best thing ever. It's like having a SUV and a truck make a baby where you could take 6 people around. And then I was looking for, but usually when you have bench seats, they usually come with like the weakest motor because it's supposed to be like a work or
right.
Yeah, or like a fleet truck,
Yes.
something that just carries stuff around for, I don't know, like the electrical company. And so they just came out with this truck called like the Silverado Trail Boss. So it has the big motor, it's a 6.2 liter, and it has the bench. So when I test drove both of them, I'm like, and I saw my kid sit next to me, like illegally in the bench seat. I'm like, oh man, this one's gotta be it. Like this one is just, it's too me, So I'm like, so I ended up getting that one. And then I've been asking him like, oh, like what? Cause he was fixing it up too. So he got exhaust and he was getting just other like headlight parts. So he got his first.
He's done like all the badges.
When
like,
he gets into something, he like takes it to the 1000th degree.
It's like, his like gym customization. That's not like just a one-off thing. Like I guess he takes that to everything he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's the only one that could review like the safeties of a squat rack.
Yep. And do a great job doing it too, where I'm like,
yeah.
I watched that whole thing and really appreciated it.
I don't know why I watched it, but I did. Here we are, and I want more.
Yeah. His basement gym is insane. It's so sick.
It is.
Yeah, he's got it going on.
He always is on top of the aesthetic of everything he's doing too.
Yeah.
We've got this game, Bart, we play with everyone. Overrated, underrated. You're probably familiar with the concept. We've been doing that with every guest for several years now, and we've got a special Bart Kwan set of overrated, underrated topics.
Okay.
The important thing to remember when you're answering is that you can't ride the line. You have to come up with either an overrated or underrated, but you have your druthers to elaborate as much or as little as you would like on each answer.
Okay.
So if you're buckled in and ready to play, we'll get started with some overrated.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, topic number 1, overrated or underrated. We're all dads here now. And you are a bit of a writer, JK News and everything. So overrated, underrated dad jokes.
Oh, are they overrated or underrated?
Yes.
I think they're underrated. And I think they're underrated because once you become a dad, I don't know what happens, but definitely some part of your DNA turns on the lame gene, and the lamest the lamest gene turns on. And when you can at the same time make your kid laugh, but also your wife cringe, you're like, yes, I got it. I got a 2-for-1 special.
Yep. Yeah. Yes. Oh, I'm a huge fan, so I'm glad. I'm happy to hear you say that. I love a good dad joke. It doesn't get much better than that in my life.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, topic number 2: overrated or underrated campers, pull style campers, most specifically.
Oh, they're fucking underrated. I fucking love them so much. Before, I thought they were just these lame machines. And I'm like, no, if you're gonna go camp, you gotta rough it out and get a tent and all that. And also like being in the military, I'm like, when I see my friends go camping, I'm like, I've been camping before, trust me.
It's not fun. That ruins that experience a little bit in my eye. And like some people probably look at that differently, like they learn from it and then they become skilled at it and stuff. But to me, I'm like, that wasn't that fun. I want to do something that's like is comfortable and a little more fun.
Yeah, I'm like, you want to know what real camping is? Sleep with the AR in your sleeping bag. That's real camping. Yeah. So, but now, like every family trip, we go with I rent a camper. You turn on the AC. You can cook inside. I'm like, these things are amazing. I fucking love them. Yeah, I can't wait to get one actually.
And the trail boss probably just pulls it like a dream, right?
Yeah. So
don't even know what's back there.
It actually does a really good job. And before I'm like, why do people need dualies for? And now I'm like, I see why.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Overrated or underrated? The PX.
What's
On a
PX?
military.
Oh, it's hands down the most underrated thing in the world.
Could you explain what PX means to you? I assumed you would know there, but like, describe what that is for anyone that hasn't been to the PX before.
So the PX is like, it's like the military Costco, where it has a little bit of everything, and for some reason, because you don't have to pay tax, it becomes the best place to go. But also at the same time, you also realize why everyone wears the same clothes.
Yeah, yes, true.
Yeah, you see the same watch or the same shirt, and you're like, "That's awesome!" And you go on to town, and there's 20 other people with the same haircuts, with the same watches, with the same shirts,
at the same.
You're like, maybe
club.
yeah, trying to make the same stripper the same wife. And you're like, maybe I shouldn't shop at the PX actually.
Also, there's something about it inside where it's like, it's like you said, it's kind of like you're in Costco or it's kind of like you're in Walmart, but it's just like a little shittier. Or, it's just like has a little bit not quite the same vibe still.
Yeah, it's like the Ross version of Costco.
There you go. Yeah, I like
where
that.
Like usually I don't think like they would carry this Quicksilver shirt.
Yeah.
But for some reason they will carry this version of Quicksilver here.
I don't know. Was this from a few seasons ago? Maybe. Maybe it's new. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's good.
They're like, yeah, I guess orange board shorts are in season. I don't know.
Okay. Next one here, actually, this is the last one for overrated, underrated. This has become like a cult classic on Massenomics, so we busted out for people every once in a while to get their opinion. Overrated or underrated, the McDonald's apple pie?
They changed it. You guys know that?
What? No.
How recently?
Oh, man. So both of them underrated. But originally, it used to have like this crust that was kind of fuzzy.
Oh, okay.
It's almost like it had the exterior of a Muppet character.
Yeah. I kind of know what you're talking about there. That's familiar to my childhood, I think.
Yeah, but the apple, the cinnamon, and like the gooiness of the inside was perfect, and it was not flaky whatsoever. It was more of powdery, but for some reason it was just right. And when they come out with the 2 apple pies for $1, you have to get both. And they decided to get fancy, maybe with the whole onset of McCafe or whatever. But then now they make it almost like this crispy, like puff pastry version of it.
Yeah,
and
it is more like a pastry now, it feels like.
Yeah, and you could see like bubbles, like pastry bubbles, but the crunch is insane. But the inside is still the same exact one, and I love both of them. They're just so good. So I'm a huge. I love McDonald's, like in general.
You're not necessarily a huge fan of the artisanal bubbles, though.
No, I like when McDonald's. I like when McDonald's
stuck to McDonald's.
You stick to your guns.
Yeah.
And you stick to like that pea smelling ball pit.
Yeah. You just dig in on what you're known for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double down.
The mystery meats. Like you just stick to those things, you know?
Don't get cute about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like them trying to do this Chick-fil-A type sandwich. I'm like, that's not you, man. That's not you guys.
I mean, right now that's everyone apparently. I guess everyone
has
has that
now. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great news.
McDonald's.
Oh, go ahead. Well, I was just going to say great news. You passed overrated, underrated, but it could ride on what else you have to say about McDonald's.
On your next statement here might carry a lot of weight.
Could jeopardize things.
Yeah, what I was going to say is, I don't know why, but McDonald's is like my ultimate food poisoning like therapy.
Yeah.
Like after I'm done throwing up or diarrhea, if I need something to solidify my bowel movements, I can always count on a McDonald's to like make it really good.
To really get the GI system working.
That's the old hangover thing to me. Like if you have had a hangover, you go out and get a greasy McDonald's or something along those lines, and it's kind of like the only thing that can
kind of resets the system.
Yeah, it does. It's like a full.
It's like when you put the chlorine in the pool, it shocks it. And
I like to think of it as a cleanse. It's a McDonald's.
Yeah. The McCleanse.
A McDonald's cleanse. That's my kind of cleanse.
Yeah, there we go.
No, but you did pass overrated, underrated, which is important because had you not, we don't air the episode. So good.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot riding on it. We don't tell everyone that up front, but
good.
So you did just do your meet, powerlifting meet. I think it was Barbell Brigade meet even, but I assume that went well for you. But I was just curious, will you continue to do meets in the future? Is that something you'll keep training for? Then no.
It went horribly.
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing it.
Okay, I was wrong then.
So I'm doing another meet for sure, probably in November, December-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. It was one of those where like I was looking at my powerlifting career, which actually means nothing. But I was just
we
like,
could say the exact same. We continue to do it. And
I mean, honestly, that's what most people should say about their powerlifting career.
Yeah. I think powerlifting is one of those sports where you have like the most diehard fans and stuff about something that matters like literally nothing.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're like a world record holder, like you should probably say your career meant nothing. Like it's.
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, I was looking at it and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm getting to that age where I'm getting more and more responsibilities and obligations where I think, although I'll always forever be a gym bro and I love training, but like sticking to a program and seeing something and seeing yourself get stronger, I don't know if that's that much of a priority anymore. So I'm like, I've always been this close to hitting an elite total. And I know if I don't just give it my all, I'll never hit it. And then I'll be like 40 something looking back going, I was always this close. So this year was like my year of really trying to like bunker down and really try to hit that total. At this meet, I don't think I was really training for like the new school depth. I think everyone across the board is trying to be really like legit, which is a good thing. So I think like some of the videos I watched at the meet, I'm like, man, that wasn't depth, really? So I just gotta like really take into consideration how much more strict the form is now, which is good, which is a good thing for the sport, in my opinion, especially if like people like the USAPL are trying to get into the Olympics. So I jumped right back into a new training block, and hopefully I'll get the elite total that I'm trying to get by the end of this year.
Cool.
Yeah. What about you guys? You guys have any goals in powerlifting, or just lifting for fun? Or
I did a pretty awesome comeback.
I did a meet. The last meet I had done was like in 2017 prior to this year, and then I had done some strongman stuff. I partially tore a bicep, and then I tore my ACL doing strongman stuff, and I came back from that, and I'd been just recovering. It took like probably 1.5 to 2 years of recovering from the ACL, and my goal had been to do a powerlifting meet coming back from that, and came back and I had a PR total, PR'd every lift basically. So it was awesome. And now I'm just kind of at the point where I used to do like a couple meets a year. Even younger me would have said that meet went great. I'm going to do another one in 2 months because I can it's like, well, I did.
Yeah.
I pulled 689 and I got it. So who's to say I couldn't have done 705? You know, it's like, why not just 10 more pounds on everything all the time?
Yeah.
But now I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, that was really good. I'm going to back down from that for a while, do some other stuff I've got going on in my life. And then hopefully in like a year or whatever, start to build back up to that and do another one. And like, that's kind of the cycle I'd like to get into, is where I can something a little more sustainable that I can continue to do this for maybe like, I don't know, the next X number of years and not re-injure myself. And that's kind of where I'm at on that. But overall, yes, it's purely just fun. I'm talking about having a PR total, but in the scheme of things, I suck at powerlifting compared to people that are really good at powerlifting. So like, you know, it doesn't mean anything in the world of powerlifting, but to me, it's always been fun. I got reminded of the experience of a meet. It had been 4 years, and just how much damn fun that was. And like, the people I don't even know back in the warm-up room, like getting you psyched up for a big lift.
Yeah.
And just like,
yeah.
there's just,
so cool.
Yeah. It's just something that like everything else I do, like nothing really replicates that. You know, it's just its own thing.
And you spend so much, like, powerlifting more than anything, you spend so much time like just training and practicing, you know, like like 99.999% of your time is not competing. So like to get out there is a lot of fun. And I'm in a pretty similar boat to Tanner. Like my last meet was 3 years ago.
Yeah, probably 2018, I suppose. Yeah.
And I'd like to, you know, training's just been so up and down for me for the past couple of years here, but I have had some pretty good momentum now going on for a while. So if I can keep this going, I'd love to do a meet, and like probably 2022 would be the year would happen. So, but
both of us are in the boat like that. We do it because it's fun.
Yes.
And if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it. We obviously like talking about it, and I like being involved in it. We get to talk to a lot of cool people on this platform and talk to guys.
The connection is breaking up a little bit.
Oh, oh no, just saying. Yeah, it's the fun part of it. That's why we do it. No.
Yeah, I try to do one every year, regardless if there's a PR or not, just to kind of like go through the motions of it. And I think it helps me understand like every generation of powerlifters and what they're looking for. And also just like, I think it's just good practice for the brand too, you know?
Mm-hmm. I agree. It adds some relevance and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, this dude does what we do, you know?
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. And I you made a good point there too. I'm not under the assumption that I have to do a PR every time to do it. And like, as I get older, I'm more so, it's like, maybe I can just pick one thing. If I could do a little better on like one area here, like that's still a win for me. Or if, you know, it's more picking these little smaller things that I can in my mind then still think it's a win, you know, then it's a more appealing way to bite it off, I think, than thinking you have to go into everything
and just smash all the records.
Right.
Yeah. One time I went into a meet, I think it was the year I had my son. So it was like, I didn't really have much time to train. And my third attempt was lower than the previous opener. And I was like, this is just there's like no stress, you know, you're like, this is just gonna be a good time no matter what. So it was almost funny, but it was cool that I still did it. And then like the team appreciates it, the gym appreciates it. And it was still just a fun time to like kind of be in there with everyone, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to bring up before I forget, before we wrap up, is we're kind of like gym equipment junkies. We have our own Massenomics gym, club gym that we've operated for like the last 5 or 6 years here. That we've got locally, we've got people that are members, but it's really kind of a club, and people can join, but it's, you know, you got to kind of be into the sort of thing that we're all into. And, but really what it's allowed us to get this collection of just cool, strength equipment and stuff that's, fun for us in that way. But what I was going to say, what I like about Barbell Brigade, I've always liked those plates that I commonly see people use that you guys have. They're kind of like, the more silver deep dish plates.
Yeah.
That the pound
Yeah.
plates that use. And I always like the look of those. Like when someone's got like 6 of those on a
It
deadlift
looks
bar.
so clean.
Yeah, that is a good look. I always aesthetically like it's not that they're new or fancy or anything like that, but I just do always think that those have a kind of a cool look to them.
Yeah, they actually look better when they're beat up.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
when you get them, they're like freshly powder coated and they're all silver, but over time it starts chipping off. And when we were like picking equipment for the gym, that was actually kind of like a homage to the old school like Ronnie Coleman videos where I would just see like the old school like Ivanko plates, and they're just like inches, and it just has this very bro feel to it, and I've always just liked them.
I think you have a keen eye there too. I would agree with that.
But there's this new company coming out. I think, are they called Strength Co?
They are.
I just saw.
They're a sponsor of the Massenomics podcast, as a matter of fact.
Oh, sick.
Grant Brogy, the owner of it, is a Marine himself. He's a Marine officer. And they make awesome plates.
We call them the go-to plates of the Massenomics gym.
That's a running thing. They're the go-to plates, and we've got a whole bunch of them now.
Full
and
set.
They are awesome. And just as far as like we're talking about the aesthetic of like cool pound plates and stuff, they are so cool. Like obviously they're a paid sponsor and everything, but like this is our real honest opinion we love those plates.
Yeah, I saw them for the first time at Russ Swole's gym.
Yes.
And I'm like, what are those things? Because from afar, they're so polished. I'm like, are those plastic?
Yeah.
And I touched it. I'm like, holy shit, these are metal.
Yeah.
And they fit on almost like a Olympic. Olympic plates where there's like no wiggle room. And I'm like, these things are crafted so well.
They're the real deal.
They really are. Yeah. Actually, saving us. I don't know if we have to do our ad read later.
As soon as we get off the phone with you, that's the next ad. But maybe we're done with it. I don't know. And he did just have just now 100-pound plates are out. We did have
he just made some hundreds. We got those, and same way those are they're not the most practical thing to have in the gym, but same way they look so cool.
Yeah. I guess it depends on who your members are, because we used to have like we call them like the monsters of barbell. There was like
Hulk
Steve
Smash,
Gentili, Hulk Smash, T. Popula, Chad Wesley Smith used to train there. So when those guys came in, we would just go, okay, use these, because there was just so much weight being thrown around that if they came in, no one else was lifting, because and we have probably, I don't know, maybe like 100 or more 45s, and they're just all gone somehow.
That is a cool group of people that you had there, though, too.
Iconic group, too.
Yeah. It was really cool.
No, the Strength Co. is based out of California, though, too. So you could.
Oh, cool.
Great ones to pick up if you're ever in the market.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Shipping would be cheap for sure.
That's much better than to Western, Northeast, South Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're ever on a camping trip to South Dakota, let us know. We'll show you the sites here in Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
No,
I'll definitely hit you guys up.
All right. No, we are excited to have you on, Bart. That was awesome. If you can, I guess if you want to let people know where to find you, I think most people know where to find you if they don't. But anything you want to get out there, go ahead and shoot.
Cool. Yeah. If you want to see what I'm about, my Instagram is just Bart Kwan, BartKwan. And if you like anything about fitness or strength training, you can check out barbellbrigade.com. That's our website. And also our Instagram is Barbell Brigade. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
We appreciate it, Bart. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks a lot, Bart.
Thank you, guys.
See ya.
See ya.
What the hell, Tanner?
Tommy, what do you give Bart?
Oh.
Cool beans. Cool beans.
You got the cool
Maybe
beans.
Maybe we'll even throw an
got
extra
like
cool
a
bean in
third
there.
cool bean.
I think that was the standing ovation on the cool beans.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot of beans.
We don't give that many beans.
He gets that extra bean for mentioning a sponsor.
That
Anytime
was-
a guest mentions a sponsor.
that That's almost one of those things that almost felt like we planted it, but we didn't.
Yeah. So no, 100% natural. Especially you could almost think he planted that like,
because he could have
there's
said
this one
when he's
company
like,
out there.
There's this one plate coming. I'm like, who's he gonna say?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was
gonna say?
and I was like, I hope he's gonna say the strength code, not like.
It's they're one of the big companies, but they make deep dish plates.
Yeah,
no. We're not talking about that one. We're talking about the Strength Co. And today's show is also brought to you by the Strength Co. The Strength Co. operates starting strength affiliate gyms out of Southern California. They have a staff of experienced starting strength coaches that know the best way to develop strength through the barbell movements. Grant, the owner of the Strength Co., is a Marine, and he is passionate about obtaining quality American products and labor for all aspects of his business. The Strength Co. makes premium, made-in-America barbell equipment, including their machined and E-coated plates. These plates are functional, easy to handle, accurate, and made to last a lifetime. The Strength Co. plates have become the go-to choice for all members at Massenomics Gym. Check out their plates and all their other made-in-America equipment online at thestrengthco.com. That's thestrengthco.com. And Tanner, it's also very funny that he brought them up because I did remember too, and I guess we did say it on the podcast, but we did get the 100-pound plates in the gym, and those are some beefy boys, aren't they?
Those are heavy.
You know,
They come
it says 100 on it, and I'm sure they're accurate, but they certainly feel heavier than 100, don't they?
They are very heavy. I did not bring them here today for a sack segment.
I'm kind of glad you didn't, because that would have been.
I'm not lying. I'm not a weak man, like in the scheme of like overall men in the world.
Well,
and like
we talked about how the hell did the UPS guy get those to you?
that, I wasn't
You
home,
know for
but
sure. Like
they are
UPS
heavy,
can't
especially
say UPS. I can't imagine that their thing says you have to be able to lift over 100 pounds to work here, right?
and that 100-pound thing, and like they had to come set them on the floor of my garage, and like they are
not easy to
heavy
do.
to pick up off the ground.
Yeah. If you're not an active person, that's
They
no easy
probably
task.
are going to leave like nasty letters and be like, "Stop ordering heavy stuff. We're old."
Stop doing this to me, please.
No, those are awesome plates, and I don't know. I want to go to them right now. Like we have to cut this short so I can just go to them.
That kind of sounded like Bart Kwan wanted to go to him too.
That's the go-to nature of the plates.
I mean, we brought up plates as a topic, and he
goes.
He
went to it. He went there.
He go to the Strength Co. plates. He brought it there on his own. That's the power they have.
That's true. We did it. We're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna cover it. We've got a list to go over. We'll go over that list maybe next time.
We have several other things in here that we didn't even get to this week.
I guess I could do the list quick. Here's the order of my list that it's in. It goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie, Andre from Outkast, Janice Krupp, Nas, and then me.
Oh, that sounds like quite the list you have there, Tanner.
That's my list.
Wow.
That's the order of my list that
It
it's
almost
in.
had a little rhyme to that.
There
was a little rhythm
I don't know.
there.
It was natural. This came out
I mean, I can
way.
tell you've been thinking about it, obviously. That wasn't just shooting from the hip there.
No, we do have something else. We'll save that for next episode, though. Just too much good stuff in this one, Tommy, don't you think?
Is there really ever too much good stuff?
No.
But
Not
maybe
in the
we don't
Massenomics.
want to give people, we don't want to overdo it. So
That's true.
We'll say enough.
As far as the world of Massenomics, things that we have coming out. So what
Drop
about
coming out this week.
This week, a new drop
As
this
you're
week.
hearing this. This
Pretty
one's,
cool one.
This
Isn't
one's
it?
really cool.
This
one's really
drop
cool.
pops.
It does pop. There could be some garments for your upper body, maybe other parts of your body.
Yep. Who knows?
I don't know.
I'm excited about this one. A couple T-shirts in there that are really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They will become a couple of my favorite T-shirts that we have come out with, honestly, up to this point. So
Me
very
as
stoked
well.
about that. Very, very stoked about that. And
Yeah.
that'll come out towards the end of this week, we believe, is the plan on that. So stay tuned.
Yeah, you know the deal. You know how this goes. If
Yeah.
you listen to this, you've probably been around the block a few times.
And then what about, would we want to tell them about this? Like, we're talking about doing this other thing for our supporting members.
Well-
but we're not really talking about that yet.
Last supporting members will have something coming their way. So if you're not
so
a
if you're a
supporting
supporting member, be on the lookout.
well, you've probably already looked out by
That's
now.
true.
But
Yeah.
yeah, there's some perks coming to supporting members. So
Right.
Never too late to go to
So you could sign up,
Masternomics.com/join.
yeah, and maybe you want to get on
fun.
some of those mini perks. And talk to anyone that's a supporting member now. They'll tell you about all the stuff that they've
ins
gotten.
and outs of it.
Will have forgotten some of the things by now that they've received in return for their supporting membership.
But we do have some fun things coming.
Yes.
We do have some fun things coming for our supporting members. So,
and like us on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Ring the bell. All these podcasts go out on YouTube. If you haven't watched there before, check us out. This podcast was a little bit of a different one for us than normal.
Because we had to look to the right the whole time.
Well, I imagine if you do normally
if you
watch
this,
you're like,
why
and
did
this
they
is
just
kind of
turn
off
their heads?
screen.
Yeah,
I think a
it
little
is.
bit.
Yeah.
But so I was holding my phone over here.
We were looking at Tanner's phone the whole time
Yeah.
for the Zoom call because we would have had to run a crazy number of wires to get my laptop here and propped up in front of this. Yeah, it would have just been a hassle. So yeah, instead of just having a regular call, we did have a Zoom call, which meant there was a video. So we were looking off of the YouTube screen.
Well, he was all set up for video, so it was
Yeah.
like a shame if we didn't have the video option. But that was a challenge for me because I normally have I have a few things jotted down on my phone that I refer to as notes, and it kind of made it so I couldn't go to it. Even for overrated, underrated, I did flip to it one time just to refresh myself.
Because you didn't want to scare Bart Kwan with this other guy popping into your Zoom feed, right?
And I don't know how to. I would show you right now if I could. Figure
I know
out how
them. I'm pretty sure I know the picture.
yeah, you've probably seen it.
I think it's
on-
been used in memes before.
Yeah,
haven't it?
it's me like in a blue dress shirt
I
and
think
tie,
the last
and
time
I'm
we had
kind
a
of like
meme contest, people
yeah,
were like,
yeah, it's that picture.
using that one of working hard or hard.
Yeah,
Like,
so
there was doing something. People were making dumb ones.
So I minimized Zoom on my phone, and then that picture popped up to Bart, and he's probably like, "Who is that?" Because it really doesn't look a lot. You know, if you didn't,
No, it
if you
does
see
not.
me
Yeah.
twice, you'd be like, "Is that the same person?" I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
That is funny. Those reactions. Who is that guy? Is there a third man in this call that I don't know about?
It was me the whole time. Always was me. Always has been me. I got one more thing to tell you about Tommy.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Texas Power Bars. Buckle in for a little history lesson here on Buddy Caps.
Okay, let's do it.
Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid 70s. At that time, he was working for Image Barbell building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them and calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he'd ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling, and it was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national,
Easy
international.
with all the features you're hitting me with over here.
Yes, international and Barbell Brigade powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. Check them out. Get yourself a Texas Power Bar, Texas Squat Bar, Texas Deadlift Bar. They've got them in a number of different finishes, sear coat options. They've got everything that you're going to need as far as a barbell goes. Check them out at TexasPowerBars.com. Thank you, Texas Power Bars. Thank you to all of our other great sponsors. Thank you to Big Caleb for the Big Bob Gibson Sauce. And I
might
would
go.
mention one other thing, a surprise last-second sack segment
What?
that I almost forgot to have. It is some custom, 100% custom Massenomics lift shorts made by none other than Big Andy.
Our Skinny Idiot Studios.
Yep.
The
Big-
one-off lift.
Yes.
Massenomics
Yes.
lift shorts. That's great.
And
That is
he
awesome.
also, so if you're looking at, he's an artist. We've had Andy do a few things for us at Skinny Idiot
Yeah,
Studios.
we're holding these up. Can
Yeah.
you see them good? Here is it.
I think that's pretty good if you've seen him on camera. He made the custom lift shorts for us here. Very cool. He also made the, I'm guessing you saw the Massenomic soap advertisement.
Yes.
Looked a little provocative.
It was very
That soap
provocative.
almost could have been others.
Could have been Big Bob's.
Yeah, it could have been Big Bob's white sauce for all I know in that advertisement. So thank you, Andy, for making that cool Massenomic stuff.
Yeah.
We've gotten a collection of those cool posters that I don't know exactly what we're going to do with.
We'll figure it out sometime.
Also
And
with these, so now we have these. So these are black mesh shorts. These are a size large. We've got these cool custom 1-of-1 lift shorts. We've also got the Lift Evil shorts hanging around still too. We've got a couple things we might have to decide what we're going to do.
We're starting to get a pretty nice collection of artisanal lift shorts over here.
Right. So we're going to have to do some thinking on what exactly. Oh, also, did you notice the skull and also the egg,
it's great. Yeah,
the perfectly
eggplant.
placed eggplant. Okay. Like us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, of course. Just blowing up on TikTok. Get over there. Follow us on TikTok. And then the supporting membership. We already talked about that. So
get on that too.
Yep. Tommy,
and get on the new drop.
The new drop. That's the most important thing.
That is the most
if
important
you
thing.
take anything away from this
It should
last
be
hour and a half,
it should be I need to go buy something from Massenomics.com.
Yes. Rush
and there's a lot there. There's a lot of stuff there.
There's good stuff. There's some sale items too. Some stuff that's already marked down.
There's a little something for everyone there.
There's something for everyone.
As long as you have deep pockets.
Deeper the better. We love your money. Help it become ours.
We love it more than you do. Hand it over.
Yeah, we'll take great care of it. Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird, but just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.